Oh, yeah. The night bard himself has said it, ladies and gentlemen. Hello, you dirty babies, and welcome back to another TikTok's Trash Tuesday. Oh boy, let me. We're doing this on both the vertical and horizontal stream right now, so I gotta always keep in mind how I'm looking in both streams. So it's a little bit weird, and I can't. That's for me to know and for you to find out. Welcome back, everybody. Another TikTok Trash Tuesday. And for those of you that don't know what that is, that's where I go to movie TikTok and I just pick out some stuff and I say, hey, what's going on here? What can I talk about? And I watch a couple of seconds of each one. I don't watch the whole thing because what would be the fun in that? You want an actual, honest to goodness reaction and everything from me, I would hope. So we're going to give you that. But before we do want to say a giant thank you to people who support us over at patreon.com/HMP pre-show, post-show, dinger zone. And I forgot to put it into the files here. Give me half a second. Let's do it because I got to honor. Well, I know we got a couple in the chat as of right this second. Boom. Let's pop it up here, ladies and gentlemen. Thank you to all the dirty come on there, pal. There you go. All the dirty babies that support us over at patreon.com/HMP pre-show, post-show, dinger zone. And we've been doing we've been having a lot of fun with our top 5 dinger zones and everything. That, of course, is also shown to you every Sunday evening, rather, at 8 p.m. Eastern. You can see our regular full half-ass movie podcast episode. And we'd really love for you to do that. And if you have the ability to do so, I don't know if you guys have seen this, but the hype button is out there. It is still a thing that people are using. So I would encourage you to use that hype button as well, if indeed that is something that you have. Get on it. I would really appreciate it. I don't know that everyone knows how to do that. I still had a difficult time explaining to people how to do that, but we're gonna do the very best that we can. So thank you guys again, patreon.com/HMP. And if you're one of those real wild and crazy people, check this out. We got all the merch available. That's right, everybody. TeePublic is having a sale right now. We got all of our merch, including the brand new Summertime Bruce t-shirt here. It's got a picture of Bruce come on, fella, as a youngin' there with a little raccoon as opposed to a dog. You guys know what we're parroting in that one, I would hope. Regular HMP merch. Sean loves spaceships. The Kingpin has a posse. That shirt's actually sold recently, and I was like, wait a minute, I totally forgot we had this account. So you can buy some of the old HMP merch as well as a whole bunch of new stuff. Everything from T-shirts to fanny packs to God knows what. Just go ahead and do that, man. We really appreciate all of that fun stuff. And look at this. Look at the prices. This is dirt cheap. You go to try to buy a hoodie or some crap off of somebody else, you're going to pay an arm and leg and your first child. But here, no sirree, Bob. We're going to give you a little bit of something extra on the cheap. So we really appreciate you doing all that. The links are in the show notes as per usual. All right. Let's get to it, boys and girls. It is time for TikTok Trash Tuesday. And as I said, TikTok Trash Tuesday is when I go to TikTok and pull out all the movie TikToks that I can find and figure out what's going on. What's going on in the world? So let's check it out and get into TikTok Trash Tuesday. What's up?
I watched The Godfather Part 2 the other day, and I was like, ooh, young Robert De Niro, hold up. I only really know him as the dad from Meet the Parents.
Isn't that a sad state of affairs? Now, listen, we all have to start somewhere in our movie watching journeys and everything, but to go, oh, man, I've only known Robert De Niro from Meet the Parents. That's something else. What I'm not sure, but it's something else. But I like that she found something. I like that she's decided, hey, I'm going to go out and explore things. And I think that is very important for people in media, but movies, books, comics, whatever, is that, you need to watch stuff. You need to branch out and start seeing more things and explore the space.
So I was like, let me look at his filmography. So I started watching Taxi Driver, and I don't know why I thought this was a comedy.
Oh, that old ripper Taxi Driver. Whoa, knee slapping time it is with the old Travis Bickle, right, kids?
So coloring me shocked when I'm halfway through the movie, and I'm like, he's giving serial killer vibes. Like when he was kind of like stalking Betsy, and like she kind of falls for it. I'm like, oh, girl, this is some hard negging. Him telling you that you're lonely and you don't have friends, and this guy's wrong for you. I was like, okay. And then she gives him a chance, but then he takes her to a sex movie, and he does not see how that is super.
I love that's one of my favorite parts of the movie was he's just going, I don't know. People go to these. I heard they go to them together. I don't really know from nothing. But in a sense, he was kind of right, because if you look at the movie Inside Deep Throat, a documentary about the making of the movie Deep Throat and everything else like that. First of all, hilarious. And you wouldn't think a movie about pornography would be funny. Absolutely hysterical, that movie. But there were times when pornos just started getting into Vogue here and everything, when people were shooting them on film and everything, like you see at the beginning of Boogie Nights and whatnot. When that was happening, people would actually go and bring dates to dirty movies. It would happen all the time. And you would see in the Inside Deep Throat documentary and everything, you see people, you see like Jack Nicholson and Fonda and all those kind of people and stuff going out to these dirty movies and stuff and going, hey, all right, it's pretty cool.
Inappropriate for especially one of your first dates. But yeah, I can feel how this movie feels so like oppressive, and you can see his slowly kind of like shifting change from like kind of like, okay, kind of weird guy into like violence potentially. Martin Scorsese has a little cameo in this, and he tells him he's gonna like shoot his wife because she's cheating on him, and like, have you ever seen this or that? And it reminds me how in the book.
Fun little fact about that. I know a lot of people know this, but perhaps she doesn't, and maybe she'll watch this video. Who knows? But that Martin Scorsese actually was like a last minute ad for that. That was not something that was written for him or anything. The actor just didn't show, and so they were like, well, I guess I'll jump in on this one.
Book Hurricane Season by Fernanda Melchor, kind of like aggressive pornography and like violence against women is one of the signs of like this rotting kind of society. And again, I am seeing all of that in this movie. Just got to the point where he tells like his co-cabbie that he's kind of feeling like he wants to do something, maybe like something crazy, and he's just kind of like, yeah, like we become our jobs, it'll pass, it's fine. I have a feeling it will not pass. I don't know why I thought this was a comedy. All right.
That really had to be disappointing though, if you go in to Taxi Driver thinking it's going to be funny, and like you're just hoping, you're just like, when are the laughs starting?
So it turns out he did go with violence. He had declined a gun earlier in the movie, and then this time around he buys a whole suitcase filled with them. He's like practicing kind of stepping up to someone. He shoots the guy. Cashier / owner is just kind of like, did you get him? No, you're fine, go. I was just like, oh my god, he's gonna be shocked.
Isn't that so good? Isn't that so good that he goes through that and has that little moment where he does something bad, but he does it in the guise of doing something good. But ultimately he was looking for an excuse to do that. And once he did that and saw that what he did had in his mind, positive outcome there and everything, he was then empowered to take that yet a step further.
Or at least be mad, like, oh, why would you kill him here? But no, instead the owner, after he tells Robert De Niro's character to leave because he doesn't have a gun permit, proceeds to continue beating this passing away or dead body. Didn't even bother calling an ambulance. All right. Well, at least he did not sleep with.
Okay, I guess this is interesting because I don't think I realized what she was doing until just now. Is that she's giving us updates as she's watching the film, it seems.
A little girl, so there's that. Consider that a win. Funny to see what like old things people think are new. I used to say I'm hip all the time, like, yeah, no, I'm hip. What's the move?
And worse than that, lady, I'm hip preceded even this era. That was even more of a 60s thing, really.
She's all into astrology, and I think it did a good job also at showing that most like sex trafficking victims think they are in like some sort of emotional relationship with their abuser, as opposed to like a stranger grabbing you off the street and then selling you. It's like, no, it's more common for someone to be the perpetrator of that. Obviously Travis just wanted to go out and do some violence.
No, but at the same time too, though, she says that, but in his mind and everything, Travis is the hero. He is the hero of the story, and like he's not committing violence in his mind, he's righting wrongs. And in a broad kind of sense, perhaps that he is, but like he's not doing it in obviously the correct way.
Work with the political candidate that he had deluded his mind into thinking he was a part of a bigger plan. And also, yeah, wow, that mohawk, quite a choice. And at the end, he, I guess, technically frees Jodie Foster's character, but also like you know that that's not how the actual ending is, right? It's kind of like American Psycho, where it's just like these men who decide to like super focus on their body and being clean and healthy, and then just not quite there mentally. I guess nowadays again kind of more incel-y vibes, but this was back in the day, so
he's not 100% incel though. I'm like he got a date. He got a date. Now, granted, he ain't know what to do with the date, as we clearly covered earlier in the video, but yeah.
Not quite the same. Like, radicalization happens differently. Travis seemed to be also very removed from his community. He no longer went with a taxi, fellow cab drivers to their diner runs. At first, like, the wall with, like, the newspaper clippings looked like maybe he was in jail. And then he thinks he sees Betsy again.
That was you, not
that's
me.
Obviously
or me, not you.
Like, that's in his mind a delusion, right? I love the sexy saxophones making.
I did not realize how long this video was, but here we go.
Back. Yeah, I'm gonna have to sit with this film a little bit. I felt after I watched Hard Truths, where it's just kind of this like empty feeling, but
you don't watch Taxi Driver for a good time. It's a good movie, but not a good time.
One that I'm like, I just need to sit in.
As a request for the chat, 6-7. There you go. Hope you enjoyed that.
One of my favorite...
It's at least worth the thumbs up, by the way. Just saying.
90s horror movies that sometimes feels a little forgotten today is 1997's The Devil's Advocate.
Oh, why you want to forget that film? Why you want to forget that film? Could it be that I'm overacting just a little bit all the time for no particular reason? I'm going and I'm saying, Charlize Theron, I don't give a crap about you. Get out the way, woman. I'm here on the screen. It's me. I have to make up for Keanu Reeves being a boring ass person.
This is my Laserdisc copy that I got when it was a new release back.
Braggart. Braggart is what you are, my friend.
Back in the day. And you'll notice that it has a sticker right here. And it says, the large white sculpture of human forms.
Oh, yeah. I wonder if you guys have heard about this.
On the wall of John Milton's penthouse in Devil's Advocate is not connected in any way and was not endorsed by the sculptor Frederick Hart.
They got pissed about that. What they should have been pissed about is how shitty the movie was.
Now, if you've seen the movie, you know the sculpture they're talking about. It's featured pretty heavily in the climax of the movie. Well, apparently this sculptor, Frederick Hart, felt...
I love how he said, this sculptor... I don't know what's wrong with that.
Felt that this sculpture in the movie was ripping off his work. So he took Warner Brothers to court. Warner Brothers slapped this sticker on...
I tell you what we're gonna do is we're gonna put a little sticker on all of the things there, just saying that you don't endorse it. It's perfectly fine. You got your paycheck. We don't have to go any lawyers. There's a sticker. Take it or leave it.
Early home video releases of the movie and agreed to edit future releases. So if you've seen The Devil's Advocate on DVD or Blu-ray or even on TV, chances are you did not see the original theatrical version.
And we're all worse for it, I think.
You've never seen Pulp Fiction. So why?
Oh, dude, there's a certain amount of people. Now, granted, once you get past a particular age, I think if you haven't seen Pulp Fiction, or certain many other films, but certainly something like Pulp Fiction, we have to start questioning who you are, or like what you're kind of. Do you have any cinematic wantings? Do you want to like stuff? I knew a guy in film school. We were like 21, 20 to 22, or 19 to 22. That was mostly the age range that I was with and everything. And to see guys that were like 21 years old that are like, I've never seen Pulp Fiction. It's like, what the hell is wrong with you? If you're 21 in 2003, why haven't you seen Pulp Fiction? What's going on with you? That doesn't make any bloody sense whatsoever. It's one of the most talked about films of all time. Hasn't it even piqued your curiosity? Look at this poster. Didn't it make you want to go like, what even is this? That's what it did to me as I was a kid. I was just a little too young, so I couldn't quite see it, initially and everything. But you see that poster, and it's just like there's something about that's kind of, and with the title and everything, it's a little lurid, a little like, it brings you in, man.
I don't know what the fuck that is.
Oh my god.
I don't know what that is. That's even worse. Not even like something in as much as, hey, it's an embarrassment that I haven't seen this. I'm kind of ashamed of it if I'm honest. I think we all have a couple of those movies in our back pocket that if somebody said, hey, what about XYZ movie? We'd go, oh crap, I don't really know about that. But you would probably be like, gosh, it's unfortunate. I've never really seen that movie. I haven't quite gotten around to it. I really want to, though, something like that. But to just go like, man, I don't know that shit. That's not good. That's not good, buddy.
Don't ever repeat those words ever again.
Yeah. It's one thing to say I've never seen it. It's another thing to say I don't know what that is.
I don't know what that is.
Exactly. It's just like it's the joyful ignorance that some people have that drives me up a wall.
You don't know what Pulp Fiction is?
Yeah, I will.
Nah. Tyrell, how old are you? 29? Have you seen Pulp Fiction? Okay, he lied.
he lied because he just heard this motherfucker get some heat.
What's your favorite part?
Probably when Bruce Willis gets out from.
Okay, he's seen.
All right. Okay. Yeah. Okay. Well, listen. If they can't give you a very specific sort of thing, they haven't seen it. But yes, that's good.
Yeah.
What? So my favorite part is when Samuel L. Jackson.
Shut up. When Samuel Jackson. Hold on. When Samuel Jackson did what? I want to hear this.
When he was in the same room as Bruce Willis. Boom. There you go. I've seen it.
When what?
When he was in the same room as Bruce Willis. Now I've seen it.
Boy.
Oh my God. Does he think Ving Rhames is Bruce Willis? Uh-oh.
You know what the funny thing is? In this movie, they never had a scene together.
Not a single solitary one. I don't even think Jules, they were in the same room when they came in after the Jimmy situation, because you got to think about it in nonlinear fashion. He was there for like half a second when Vince was going over to him and calling him Palooka and all that good stuff.
Don't interact at all.
Well, out of all the things you could say, you said one of the most wrong things. Man, I part with Bruce Willis and Samuel Jackson. That was crazy.
I didn't say I together. I said in the same room.
No.
Because nothing memorable happens with them together in the same. As far as them,
for me, it was
because they're apart. One, he's like at that point. Jules is going over and talking with Marcellus, and Vincent is over at the bar. So they're not over at the bar with Butch. I was just like, oh man, I'm gonna lose some credit here. He's over at the bar with Butch
in the same room. What did they do?
Stop.
So what they do that was so cool, man. They were in the same room.
They were interrogating somebody.
No.
He thinks Ving Rhames is Samuel L. Jackson. That's 100% what that was. It took me a long time to do it, says Matt. Matt, I understand you're a different kind of guy. But here's the thing. Matt, you've seen some crap that I know like 99% of people haven't seen and stuff like that. So like you counterbalance it with other stuff. That's okay. I'll allow it. What's next?
My problem with modern horror, we talked about with weapons, they try to force comedy for some reason.
Yeah, listen, I'm going to tell you this right now, and this is where I stopped this video while I was flipping through TikTok and everything, because I don't know what they're going to say from here on out, but this is what kind of caught me, is somebody bitching about comedy in horror films. What's wrong with you? What don't you get? Horror and comedy are kin, man. They're kissing cousins over there. That's how crazy horror and comedy are together, man. They necessarily shouldn't be there, but you kind of want to. I don't know where I'm going with this analogy, but like horror and comedy are made for each other, man. What's going on?
Do
you want every movie to be Martyrs? Martyrs didn't have a lot of laughs in it and stuff like that. Do you want everything to be that? Come on.
Annoying and like weird and like takes me out of it. Like the ant weapons. What's the ant's name?
Gladys.
Her running for like 5 minutes away from the kids was so annoying to me. So
what's annoying to me speaking like this? What's annoying to me? Oh boy.
hate that in modern horror. I feel like there hasn't been like a horror icon recently, except
I think I've heard other people in the past say make podcasting equipment prohibitively expensive. And I would agree. As somebody, now granted, listen, I've been on the game longer than most of you asswipes have. I've been, podcasting for about 15 years all told. So, come on now.
for art.
All right, yeah, I was gonna say art.
Yeah, and
Let's
I'm
say,
personally not a fan of the Terrifier movie just because I think he's becoming one. Yeah,
I would say so.
Yeah,
That was pretty cool.
yeah, but I don't like Terrifier that much. I love the movies in the sense as like a independent filmmaker.
I like them cutting up people and stuff, but I don't like no ha-has.
Here's and stuff like that. I have major respect and love for them. Me personally, I don't like campy gore. It doesn't scare. It just annoys me. It's like, okay, it looks silly to me. But like I understand.
What? Okay. I can give you like one particular scene. I think we all know the scene that we're talking about in Terrifier 1. I'll give you that one. But Terrifiers 2 and especially going into Terrifier 3, you can't sit, dude. They're so brutal, brother. What are you even talking about? Any horror hound who loves gore and stuff like that should be eating the Terrifier movies up with a spoon.
And the appeal of it. So it's not like I think they're bad movies. I just don't like it.
Great take.
I'm 25 minutes into the movie Keeper.
Okay, here's where I stopped this one. I stopped at 2 more seconds, but I'm going to preface it before he tells you what he's going to tell you, which leads us into this video. I cannot imagine someone doing this. I cannot imagine myself doing this. This is madness. He is leaving during a movie and filming it and talking about what he's currently watching. Here we go.
And I stepped out here to say this movie sucks.
I don't give a shit. I don't care if the movie sucks. You bought as they say, you bought the ticket, take the ride. You did. You dropped a dime. Go ahead and watch this one out. That's how it goes, my friend. Sometimes you go into turds. You know what I didn't care for? Long Legs. I did another Osgood Perkins movie. And you know what? I didn't walk out. I stayed through the whole damn thing. What was the other one that he did? Didn't he do another one? There was another one. I haven't been like blown away and stuff by it. But I still watch the whole thing. I don't go, you know what I'm going to do is I'm going to leave this thing right now and I'm going to boot up my phone again and I'm going to start yapping into it. Ugh. Wow. You can't take anything that anyone who is like this says seriously.
Osgood Perkins is not good at this. I knew to expect this though. I'm going to go back in, probably finish it, but...
Oh, thanks for I'm sure we all are better people having waited for your update in the middle of I don't particularly care for this. I knew I was not going to care for it, yet I needed to make this whatever known.
I mean, it's really aimless and dumb, and 25 minutes in...
Okay, tell me you made it more than 25 minutes before you just like, nah, I'm going to go walk into the lobby and say stuff. Oh, my God.
I felt more compelled to take a walk.
Yep. That's exactly what he did. What a nightmare.
And make this video than to just stay put.
Yeah, that says more about you than it does Osgood Perkins, I think. Not the L you think it is, my friend. Or not the W you think it is. It is an L for you. Ugh. L for me on that one. Jeez Louise. What's next?
The following movies need a release on Blu-ray or 4K.
Okay. All right. There's a lot of stuff that has come out and whatnot. So I'm always curious as to what people think should come out. Let's do it again.
Preferably 4K, but some of them haven't even gotten past DVD.
Really?
Solaris, 2002. This is the...
Yeah. Yeah. He makes a good point. And is the Clooney Solaris I know the other one. I know the original Swedish one is on Criterion. Is the Clooney Solaris, is that on Criterion Collection? If so, it could be due for an upgrade, you know?
The remake of the Russian movie Solaris with George Clooney that was directed.
Was it Russian? Maybe it's Russian. I thought it was Swedish.
By Steven Soderbergh.
All right, I'm just like,
It bombed at the box office and only
yeah, because it was boring. I'm a Steven Soderbergh fan. I'm a George Clooney fan. Movie boring, son.
never got a DVD release, but that was in 2003, and it is 2025 now. Like, I think we can get at least a Blu-ray, but again, preferably a 4K.
Yeah, that's overdue. That's overdue. I'm not even a fan of the movie. That's overdue.
The Fountain, 2000.
Yes. Absolutely. I know people hate this movie. I really, really love this movie. I thought it was fantastic. The people behind me at the theater were absolutely confused. The credits flip and they were just like, this was awful. I've straight up looked at them and I go, this movie was great. You guys are stupid. I go, this movie was awesome. I mean, like, it's how they're telling this story with the timelines here and everything. It's absolutely beautiful. It's it's ultimately a commentary on love, really. I love it. I think it's great.
6. This was the movie that was directed by Darren Aronofsky. It starred Hugh Jackman and Rachel Weisz, and it was like 3 different.
They're both so good in it. They're both so good. They both give amazingly good performances.
And storylines. Hugh Jackman trying to save Rachel Weisz. It got a Blu-ray release, thank goodness.
Yeah, I was about to say, I feel like I have this on Blu-ray.
But it hasn't had a 4K release yet. And it's a visually beautiful movie.
It should really be a 4K for sure,
a 4K release to like bring that out, in my opinion. So hopefully that comes soon.
God, I feel like I want to watch that movie again. Thanks, buddy.
AI, artificial intelligence.
Yes. Again, I'm not even the hugest fan of this movie, but this is something that absolutely would rock in 4K. Hell yes.
Starring Haley Joel Osment, directed by Steven Spielberg. Again, like The Fountain, this got a Blu-ray release like 10 or so years ago, but now it's time for 4K. And it will probably happen because Minority Report and Catch Me If You Can are getting 4K release.
Which, by the way, yes, I want those. Give them to me.
Releases next month, I believe.
I think so.
So I'm hopeful this happens.
Yeah, December is like chock-a-block full with some good movies releasing and stuff, man.
Soon, but those movies were more successful financially, so there's more incentive to release them on 4K. So you never know. Hopefully AI will get a 4K release. There's a couple of more that I can think of, but I'm curious. What about you guys? What movies do you think need Blu-ray or 4K releases that's only been stuck in DVD or haven't even had a DVD release? Let me know.
That's a good one, man. Yeah, I definitely want to see those. I'm actually watching this while I'm browsing the Criterion film at Barnes & Noble. I just saw Siskel and Ebert loving the Wachowskis' Bound, so I'm getting that. Listen, nobody wants to say it, but the reason everybody liked Bound back in the day was a little girl-on-girl action. In the 90s, you just couldn't quite walk into any old, AOL chat room and see that. And today, chock-a-block full, throw a stone, as it were. Listen, I saw the movie once. I don't really remember it. I'm going to be honest. What's next?
I think every movie theater needs to incorporate these popcorn machines. They are the coolest thing ever. Look at.
I paused this. I've seen these things before. I don't know his. He clearly seems to enjoy it. I'm about to tell you why you're wrong.
Light. You come up. You pick your. I'm gonna go here. And then here you can start layering stuff. So I want a little.
So then you can have annoying assholes go boop, 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 ping pong back during stuff. Be there all the time. First of all, this popcorn is God knows how long old. Because they fill the hoppers. They just fill the hoppers, and so they don't have to do this. So fresh popcorn is not being made. And here's the thing. I will go so far as to say popcorn is something that will last all day long if you keep it under, the heat there and everything. And it won't really go bad. But ultimately, we would all probably prefer to have something that was made fairly recently. And these are not. Most of the time, the places that do hoppers like this don't even make their own popcorn. They buy said popcorn in bags and put it in there.
Butter. So I'm gonna add a little butter.
You got 15 stupid MFs, right? That want to do the exact same bull crap that he's doing. 45 minutes later, your movie's over. Jesus, can you imagine?
And I also got one of these. I love white cheddar or ranch on my popcorn.
He's a white guy, all right. Oh Jesus! This reminds me of years and years ago. This is probably almost 20 years ago at this point. I go to the movies and there's this guy. Now, this is one of these movie theaters that would kind of let you do a little bit of the salt and the butter in between. Like if, they went like, give me half and then you could put a little butter on, you give it back to them and then you put on the rest of it and stuff like that. They would do something like that for you. But this guy that was in front of me would go through, and have you seen those like the little Colonel seasonings that he has? This movie theater had like, I want to say 9 of those, but big giant bottles, industrial sized bottles for restaurant and theater use and stuff like that. They're all like zip line tethered to this little station there and everything. So this guy stood there and would have the guy at the concession stand fill up the popcorn about an inch and a half, give him the thing, and then I shit you not, he would butter, and then he would go through and put every single salt, all of them, your white cheddar, your butter, your jalapeno, and also your sweet ones, your chocolate, your cinnamon, whatever the fuck it was. They put all of this stuff in like layer after layer. He must have done it 5 times. I was like, this guy is going to die. He's going to die of a heart attack right here, right now. We're all going to watch it. And this is what reminded me of that.
This is amazing. This solves any issue and every issue with like...
No, not only does it not solve issues, it creates issues, my friend.
Having a...
Now, granted, if you wanted to do it for like a quick refill or something, like in the middle of the movie, you like ran out and went and then like ran back in, sure. Okay, something like that. That'd be about the only time where I could see something like that being advantageous. Outside of that, no.
Butter, not having enough seasoning, everything's even, and this
guy seems like a real pain.
Way more fun. I mean, you cannot tell me that doesn't look delectable. Oh my god.
He drops it on the floor, and I'm telling you, he's going to put more stuff in that. And listen, I'm going to tell you something right now about movie theater floors. Filthy. Absolutely filthy.
Let's do a taste. I'm pretty sure this is going to be the best popcorn.
Watch him pass out from salt
I've ever made.
Look at him. He's got like a squirrel face going on. What's happening? Oh my God! Look at him. It's like this. He's like.
Oh my God!
Look at him like a big giant Neanderthal. And that's not his fault though. Like nobody can eat popcorn and not look like a maniac while doing it.
With a Coke Zero, with a cherry, or I've been really lucky.
Yeah, you could edit. What a pause! What a pause!
And the Sprite Zero with cherry.
Man, your mic's getting caught a little bit there, buddy boy. Sweet Lord. What's next? My.
I watched 10 films in the span of like 2 days. So let's talk about what I liked and what I disliked.
All right. 10 films. I hope he does them quickly. Eddington.
Starting off, we got Eddington. And my grandma literally put on HBO Max, saw Eddington. I said, damn, I want to watch that. She said, bet. So we watched it and we...
Your grandma said bet? I hope that's true.
Really had a good time. I actually liked this movie. At a certain point, I almost forgot that Ari Aster directed this. Emma Stone, all them, they did their thing. But I like this film because we were able to have conversations about COVID, BLM, racism, white supremacy, all that shit, just unpacking all that shit, seeing it on film and having conversations about everything.
He gets it. He gets it. Why does everyone else have such a hard time understanding this movie? He gets it. It's so simple. This is a young guy, too. He gets it. He understands. Why is it so hard for so many people to, why to misinterpret what this movie is about? My goodness.
Thing is going on right now, bro, so I fuck with it for that. Under the Silver Lake is a film directed by David Robert Mitchell. It takes place in Silver Lake, LA.
Nobody gets the ending of the movie anyway. I don't think they do. I don't think most people get anything that's going on with that movie. That's truly indeed the sad part. I'm halfway through Eddington, so fair. So, well, listen here. Okay, I'm gonna just tell you this. I'm gonna tell you this. This is not a spoiler per se or anything, because I'm gonna be very vague with it. But I will say the second half of Eddington ends up being Rambo. Okay. Let's go finish that movie. It's a good one.
LA, y'all know me. I fucking love LA. I swear to God, if I pull up to LA, bro, I'm gonna know that shit got the back of my hand. I'm not.
Okay, and then Trillian in the chat says, people don't understand Eddington. I had no idea. Oh, believe you me. Here's the thing. Understand is maybe the wrong word. I always have said a lot of people will see the reflection in Eddington and not like what's looking back at them. And they will turn that into, I dislike this movie, as opposed to, I dislike what I did during this time, and this movie reflects back to me some of my actions and thoughts. That's I think, the problem.
Plan. Under the Silver Lake has this Mulholland Drive type vibe with Andrew Garfield.
I almost watched this movie so many times, but I never got around to it.
Into all these conspiracies, there is a dog killer going around LA killing dogs and stuff like that. But there's also all these different conspiracies and codes and just fucked up shit Andrew Garfield is trying to like decipher in this film. And the whole movie, he is trying to find this girl that pulled up to his apartment complex. She moved in, they kicked it, bro, and then she just disappeared. So it was like, hey, bro, I gotta figure out what's going on, because something ain't right. I'm seeing people go into our apartment, take our stuff, all that, bro. This film also has like this Vertigo type vibe. The director, he has these references all throughout the film, and he wears it on his sleeve, bro. He letting you know what's going on.
I like this guy. He's got a lot of deep references and stuff like that. You know, listen, I mean, you don't find a lot of people dropping Vertigo references and stuff like that, man. I dig it.
It's like some neo-noir shit, and I don't really know too much about noir films, but
oh baby, it's Noir November, and we're gonna talk about that in the video later. So keep on keeping on.
Apparently, this is what it's based off of, and he just wanted to add like a modern take to it. I got around to finishing the movies in this box set on my DVD player, and I really enjoyed Wes Craven's New Nightmare.
New Nightmare is so underrated, dude. Like they brought, like honestly, it's like thank God they closed that thing out with a banger. It's not everybody's deal, I get it, but man, it was kind of, and then also being that that progenitor that would end up what Scream would kind of be with Kevin Williamson and everything, to where it was just taking on that meta factor of, hey, we know these horror movies exist and stuff like that, and I enjoy like just the conceit and idea of it all. Very, very cool. Even though Wes Craven himself couldn't act his way out of a paper bag, God bless him, he got into it and had a fun time.
The best Nightmare on Elm Street film. You can't argue with me.
Okay, well, you bet. Okay, wait.
You can't tell me nothing different. I like the first one. I like the third one. I haven't seen two, but I don't like any of the rest.
Well, you listen, those are the only ones that you really need to see is 1, 3, and 7. Now, 2 is fine. 2 is fun for what it is. 4, 5, and 6. I'm here to tell you, ladies and gentlemen, I know it's not going to be on everybody's thing here, but those movies suck. Nightmare on Elm Streets 4, 5, and 6, you can just toss them in the bin. No good.
And I seen Freddy vs. Jason.
That's a good one.
I really like that shit too. Freddy vs. Jason was a good like early 2000s slasher.
Yeah.
And we got to see them motherfuckers duke it out, bro.
It was so much fun. And let me tell you, I saw Freddy vs. Jason at a second run theater on Tuesday nights where tickets were 50 cents. 50 cents. Needless to say, the theater was packed. It was like, and it was amazing. It was like every walk of life that you could possibly imagine. It was old people, young people, every single race that you could imagine, because it was Orlando. So it literally was kind of everybody. It was an amazing experience. Kelly Rowland gets her nose flipped off. That movie theater went insane, bro. It was such a fun time.
That motherfucker Jason, bro, I ain't gonna lie, bro. I don't know, bro. He tough, bro. He's strong as shit. Wes Craven's New Nightmare is like this meta Nightmare on Elm Street film. It has like a Scream vibe, but it does its own thing. We get to see like the actual actors being like, yeah, bro, Nancy or Heather, you straight, bro. You doing your thing. And I, for one, love Nancy, bro. She cool as hell. But that little boy Dylan, he was popping his shit, boy.
Let me tell you, this kid was in like every film in the 90s. He was in this movie. He was in Kindergarten Cop. He was in everything. It was just like, we need this little precocious kid. Boy, oh boy, would that sucker pop up in there. I'm old as hell. I saw New Nightmare in the theater. Yep. I can't listen to these kids say "bruh" 50 times in 2 minutes. Well, that is kind of how they roll. Go to a middle school. I substitute teach in middle school on occasion. It trust me, this guy's like in comparison.
That little boy is acting his ass off, bro. I ain't gonna lie, bro. This is like the most turned up and kind of the scariest one. I ain't gonna lie. Then I got Stoker, directed by Park Chan-wook, and I'm not gonna lie. At first, I wasn't feeling this shit because I was like, bro, we in like one spot and it's kind of dramatic.
It takes a while to get going for sure.
But the transitions and stuff, them shits was fire. Like, you actually gotta see them shits, bro. Them shits is amazing. But the story
he threw in a
girl named India, and her dad dies, and they was close as fuck. But then her uncle pull up that she didn't know about, and the uncle start messing with the mama, and it get freaked out. Freaky Blue Velvet. I watched this movie called Bug on Criterion, and I think I tried to watch this movie before, but it was too slow for me at the beginning.
For whatever reason, I've never seen Bug, but what I remember from Bug was like the one time that I went to Los Angeles for a Star Wars convention, no less. I remember seeing Bug advertisements everywhere. And I was like, why do I want to see this? I don't.
And it started off as a drama, and it's described as a horror movie. And we get to see this lady that lives in a motel in Oklahoma. She works at a bar, and her ex-boyfriend get out of jail, and he keeps popping up on her, he hitting on her. And this dude pops up, he's like, hey, bro, we can be friends. We can kick it.
Is that Shannon in there?
And they hanging out. But the guy is like on the run from the fucking army, and he's AWOL. And he's seeing bugs everywhere, and she starts seeing the bugs too. And that's where the body horror comes in. You just gotta feel me, bro. I ain't gonna lie. It's slow, but
naturally, it says the girl turns into a cockroach and then gets squished by Freddy in Freddy 4 is my favorite. The fridge. Diabolical.
Bro, they take it there, bro. Also saw Friday the 13th Part 4. Jason.
Listen, Part 4, I think it's a little underrated. Is it as good as Part? No, wait, hold on. 5 is the one I'm thinking of. 5 is a little underrated. Well, let's see what he says. I forget.
Jason Lives, and I kind of liked it. I don't like Jason's movies. I don't like that single shot camping location, bro. That shit is kind of boring to me. But I got scared at the beginning. I'm not gonna lie, and that's it.
All right, not too bad. What next?
This was an article released this week by the New York Times. 25 movies, many stars, 0 hits. Hollywood falls to new lows.
Yes. Yes, they have. Let's talk about it. Let's see what we got.
It's basically an article about how every single movie being released in theaters right now is flopping hard. And the article, I think correctly, brings up a number of things that are causing this. There's less of a movie theater window because movies get pushed to
that is a huge one. We have, like, I remember, like, literally 15 years ago or something, just, talking about, the theatrical window, they want to keep it long and no one's ever going to do it. Now it's day and date with stuff like this. And there's zero reason to go to the theaters. People don't want to do it. And especially when you have a whole bunch of people being buttholes all the time, who wants to go to that?
Streaming so quickly.
And paid an arm and a leg.
Just generally become easier for Americans to watch movies on streaming services instead of going to a movie theater. Even the concept of star power in general is kind of fading. And to be clear, I think all of that is correct in some way. But whenever people start to talk about this stuff, I do feel like there's a big issue that people are missing or just not talking about. And I want to tread very lightly here as someone who talks about movies for a living. There are just too many movies. There are
Yes. There are far too many movies. That is one of our big giant problems, is that we have too many options. E.T. had like 30-something weeks at the box office's #1 position. So much so that it dropped 1 week to like #2 and then back up to #1 for, a consecutive, 15 more weeks after that. We have far too many. Everybody wants a piece of the pie. Everybody wants to get theirs wet. And And it's just not working. There's too much stuff out there. And here's the thing, as time progresses, as time goes on, we have more and more things available to us to actually entertain us. It's not like the 80s anymore, where it was just like, oh, well, we've got, maybe 20 channels worth of TV and that's about it, and podcasts don't exist. YouTube doesn't exist. Social media doesn't exist. So yeah, like you didn't have a whole lot of options.
Just simply way more movies being made and released today than there were, say, 30 years ago. At a time when studios would have literally what they called tentpole releases.
Yeah, you get out a couple of the big boys that cost your big monies and stuff, that your Star Wars and stuff like that, right? And then you have a whole bunch of little small films that you go throughout the year, because tent poles hold up what? That's right, a tent. What do you do with a tent? You populate it with stuff inside the tent. The stuff inside the tent, those are your small movies. Those are what's holding the tent, the business, up over. It's so simple. Why can't people get it?
Studio for any given year would have like 3, 4, maybe 5 tentpole movies that they were going to release in theaters. And their financial success for that year was really going to be anchored by these select films. I'm not just speculating here. This is statistically true. We don't have these exact numbers. In the 1990s, global film production was probably like a few hundred movies being produced every year. In 2023, that number was 9,511.
Let's say even 90% of that is bullshit. Let's say 90% is bullshit. It's still way too much. It's still too much. And the problem is that they all think that they can take swings at stuff and then it's just going to turn into money. And those days are gone. They're gone. Stars mean next to zilch these days. We've proven it. The Rock was a giant star for a very long time. Now The Rock has fallen out of favor with people because he's just been overexposed far too much. He puts out a dramatic film that should be the turning point in his career that gets him to what I would imagine he wants to do, which is more serious roles in times where he's taken seriously and whatnot. And it absolutely fails because we're friggin' tired of it. We're done with it. We don't want to see this stuff anymore. And it's just... people just don't understand. Stars don't mean anything anymore. So when somebody who was like considered just a box office juggernaut, you put a Rock in the movie, that movie's going to make money. That's gone. Those days are gone, my friend. And I don't think they're coming back.
That's too many movies. Of course, not all those movies are getting a theatrical release, and not all of them are even being produced in the US. And that's counting like every little film production that someone's doing. But that's still too many movies. While digital film production has made producing movies cheaper and easier, and overall I think that's probably a good thing, it could be argued that that has led to a little bit of a lack of discipline. And when it comes to major Hollywood studios, certainly a lack of focus in how they're marketing their films. Ordinary Americans cannot see 25 movies in a movie theater in 3 months.
No, I was going to say, like, if he was going to say people can't see 25 movies a year, I'm just like, that's light work. What are you talking about? But yes, in a month, no.
More than 8 films per month. That's 2 movies a week in theaters. Unless you are a professional film critic, nobody can do that, nor should be expected to do that.
And even so, like, at our height during the Film Find, when Matt and I were literally watching everything, even then, like, I think my highest number of movies that I saw in a movie theater that year was like 115 to 20, 115, 120 movies, something like that. And that was way too much. I saw everything. Most of it not very good.
One of those insufferable AMC A-listers because we never...
No, I was a Movie Pass, boy. Movie Pass was the joint.
Never hear the end of it from them. Do not get me wrong, the democratization of filmmaking is absolutely a positive thing. I do wonder if the wider scope is ultimately causing us to be exposed to less stories. Maybe we should all take a step back and be more selective with the stories we're trying to tell.
Yes, but they won't. Because then they can't, because they can do it, and then if it doesn't make any money, they can write it off. There's an acceptable amount of write-offs per year, and blah, 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 blah. Hollywood will never learn. Every Chick Tac Trash Tuesday we talk about it. They're never going to learn. Come on. That ain't how they work.
Where the hell does the idea come from that film is this highbrow art that's a...
Oh man, I hate this guy. So there's a stitch incoming. So we're going. So let's see what he's got. Why do filmmakers think they're above TV?
Above lowbrow television.
I don't know where it comes from, but whoever came up with that is completely correct, completely right. It is much better. I used to be one of them people who was like, yo, let's not compare mediums. You know, they all have their greats and they all have their worst things, right?
They do.
But film is much better than television.
Okay, and I remember why I took this. Why I took Michael's TikTok here, and Michael's a guy that I follow on TikTok, and I like his takes a lot of times. This one, however, he's a youngin and he's wrong. Let's hear him out a little bit, but we're gonna break down how he's wrong.
I'll tell you why. I'm gonna dispute some of the points you made this video. So you also go on to mention in the video that if you took the top 10 TV shows of all time and the top 10 movies of all time and put them in a list of 20, that 9 out of the top 20 would all be television shows.
Yeah, that's a mad statement right there. He's crazy. But here's what I'm going to say, guys. Wait, I'm going to hear his take, and then I'm going to chime.
Which is ridiculous. Then you go on to say that this is because TV shows have a longer time to develop ideas. And so the top TV shows are going to be better than the top movies, and the worst TV shows are going to be the better.
Well, I mean, it's like, I don't know. That seems stupid to compare those two things, seeing as how they are different. They're not the same thing. Like a comic book is not the same as a novel. It's not the same as a leaflet. You know,
worse than the worst movies. You said higher ceiling, lower floor, like the sports reference. This is a terrible way to look at these things because you're equating duration with quality, which doesn't equate at all. That's not how things work here, okay? TV is so much more focused on dialogue than image. It's that every single thing when we're watching is constantly being revealed to us by characters' words.
Yeah, I mean, sometimes.
Film has so much more going for it as TV. Like, you only are going into that for the plot.
Okay, all right. Here was one of my kind of initial thoughts when I was hearing these guys and their him in the stitch that he had there. You boys are young, all right? You young bucks. So you probably don't remember in the early 2000s a little television show called 24. Your boy Kiefer Sutherland, who was a big-time movie star in the 80s and 90s, said, I'm going to star in this television show on Fox, of all people, of all places, Fox. Now, 24 was a television show that was, the events occurred in real time. So an hour passes in your real time, an hour passes in the show. All the events happen simultaneously. The way this show was written and kept you on week after week after week was more compelling than 95% of the movies that come out today. 95%. Jack Bauer was like cinema every single week. The moments that you love in movies, 24 was doing 3 of those every single week. And then leaving you at the edge of the cliff going, how are we going to get out of this one? It was the Duke boys jumping over the gulch every friggin' week, and you kept coming back. But it was almost a failure. That show almost failed. Halfway through its first season, people weren't really watching. So they did this whole kind of re-roll here and everything where people came in and said, hey, we need to get this show out here. It got, Emmy nominations and stuff like that. And it was off to the races. They reintroduced it. People started watching and they were like, oh my God, this is one of the best television shows ever.
Every time you think about it, right? So many times when we see a still from a film, we're like, wow, I really want to watch that. Now compare that to the amount of times you've seen a still from a TV show and be like, yo, I want to watch that. It's not happening nearly as much. And part of this could be because, you're a writer and so you're more attuned to those things. But
he's got writer, producer in his bio. But you can put anything in your bio, everybody. I could put in that I'm a neuroscientist. It ain't true, but I could do it. I could put it in my.
I personally think that writing is one of the least important aspects of filmmaking.
All right, you gotta slow your roll on that one, dog.
It is about moving images, you know. Is it
yes. Now, granted, that's also the way that it started, but the way that cinema progressed and went on, you could, it's got sound. You could go back and be like, well, if we're anything past what the basic persistence of motion is, that's too much for film. So all we need is just, 12 frames worth of stuff, and then our eyes would be able to have that persistence of motion enough. So there's no reason to come on now. These are silly takes.
Given that when you are watching television, you're going to have mundanity, you're going to have overdrawn plots, you're going to have lulls in it. This can happen in some films, of course, but it's far less likely. So the whole duration point about things being longer going to equate to things being better because you could draw them out, you could spend more time.
Listen, I think we're all making the wrong arguments here.
I mean, that doesn't matter. Part of the magic of film really is how they are able to capture this in one.
Yeah, but that's also part of the way that many times they also fail at these sorts of things. Could you imagine, for example, if Peter Jackson's Lord of the Rings was only done in one film? They decided to take 3 books and make them into one movie. How would that have turned out? Not good. So even in movies, we serialize things enough. So let's not pretend like, they're not so different, you and I.
Succinct movement. Now onto the diversity of film. You're getting way more varied movies than in TV. And part of this is because you have so much in the independent sector. Have y'all ever heard the term independent TV show? I have not. Now,
well, a lot of television shows started out as like independent things or things that were kind of pitched independently and stuff like that. I think of It's Always Sunny. I think of like Workaholics and stuff like that. So it's not unheard of.
Probably some exist somewhere. Probably not in America.
Anything the whitest kids do, stuff like that.
But these are few and far between if they do exist. Independent film really allows for us to tell so many different types of stories now.
Yeah, but also independent film these days has been absolutely garbage and trash, and has wildly gone away from the intent. I think initially.
Like I said, nothing I'm saying in this video is completely exclusive to film, but I'm like, it is far more likely that you're going to see this. The stories that you see repeated in TV are kind of recycled so many of the time.
Listen, what's the old Shakespeare thing? There's only like 4 types of stories, man against man, man against God, man against himself, man against nature, and that's it.
Just in slightly different formats.
Everything else is just variations thereof.
I'm not seeing too many different things. It's just not true. The diversity is on an all-time low. It is much more about these corporations and networks. Like every single TV show that we know about right now is like, okay, what streaming service did this, or what network was this from? This is being controlled by them completely. Now you have.
They buy these things. They don't really necessarily control them. I don't think you know as much about TV as you think.
Have this with the most popular films, which why a lot of them suck now, but you have all these other gems that you can get released. Now, I haven't seen any of these shows yet, so let's preface this by that, but I bet you shows like Twin Peaks and Mindhunter will be much better than most other television because they're coming from filmmakers.
Yeah, but like, here's the thing. Now you got to look back and think about how you're wrong about a lot of other things. Think about these other shows that are then done by filmmakers. Speaking of the exact same filmmaker, David Fincher doing House of Cards. M. Night Shyamalan doing, what was the one thing it was Bryan Singer. Directing the first episode of House and stuff like that. That was his style there and everything. There's a couple other just not coming right off the head myself, but that's very often times where they will get an actual filmmaker and everything to kind of help develop the actual style and look and feel of a television series and stuff like that. It's a smart move, to be quite frank.
Because there will be an emphasis on the form as well as the story and dialogue and things of that nature. TV shows are constantly appealing to their audiences because they have to keep going on, right? They have to keep going on and on and on. People were like, yo, like the whole point about duration being longer, like if you took a film and you just made it longer, you kept expanding on it and the ideas.
Yeah, I mean, those movies are out there.
It's like, no, we don't need it.
Let's start War and Peace, please.
Anymore. What we have here is good. We have here is good. And making things go on longer does not make them better. Okay? It's just not true at all. In conclusion, TV is so much more limited than film. in its ambitions, in its form.
No, what are you talking about? It's more limited with its ambitions. It's literally quite the opposite. Because they have more crap to do, they're what are you talking about? That's insane. Their ambitions are so much larger than film. All you got to do in film is fill 90 minutes to 2 hours. With this, you got to fill, like in the case of 24 hours worth of material. That's far more ambitious than 2 hours worth of material. What are you talking about? It's literally 12 times as ambitious. We'll call it 6 times as ambitious because it's, whatever. I don't like it still wins. What are you talking about?
Content, like all of it is lesser. Let's not do this.
Disagree. What's next?
I've never seen the.
It's character actor Sean Whalen, everybody. Watching the Goonies for the first time, blind react. Holy smoke. Sean Whalen has never seen the Goonies, which is kind of funny when you think about it because I feel, and I could be wrong. I'm not sure Sean's age 110%, but I lay odds that he could have been in the Goonies. I feel like he's close enough to the right age.
Movie Goonies. This is me before I have seen the movie Goonies. I've heard great things.
It's a good one. It's a really great flick. We reviewed that back on Half-Ass Movie Podcast. If you want to go check that out, we did that little Goonies flick. Yeah.
But I've never seen it. Can you believe it?
My goodness, no.
What is this movie?
Amazing is what it is.
What is this movie with like some crazy dude in a chair that looks...
You knew that's where he had to be when he stopped for this sort of thing. Is this like the introduction of sloth? By the time that you do get sloth in the movie, you're either 100% or 100% out with the Goonies. That's how that works, man. You were either just like, I am all for this, or I gotta leave, man. This sloth character, what are we doing?
It's like a I don't know, something out of like Black Cauldron or something. I don't know. They got Chunk. We have a rocket toilet explosion. Yes. Joey Pants is strangling a child.
And so another Tuesday.
They are trying to Mario World the kids. Like big old things dropping to smash them. They're in Mario World. All the bats look really fake.
Well, they're children. They can't put real bats up in there.
Found a wishing well.
Where you going, Daddy?
It's our time. It's our time down here. You want to, like when you're a kid, you're just like, that's awesome. As an adult, you're just like, somebody smacked the piss out of this kid.
What is happening? What is that dude in the basement with Chunk? Oh my God. Sean Astin just convinced everybody to stay with him to fight organized crime in a well. Bubble Bush Tophead has a...
He does have a good rallying speech there.
Escaped. The oddly shaped head giant just kissed a small boy. He had just saved himself from certain death.
Chunk, baby, I love you. That's kind of how you sound, Bronson. That's kind of your voice, almost. Yeah, I talk like that just a little bit. Oh, shit, hold on. Come on.
With frank teeth and a slinky. This movie is insane. Sloth and Chunk are eating ice cream. The older teenager just kissed a child. Data just pulled a wacky racers and had oil come out of his shoes.
Yeah, he did. That's an Oscar winner, by the by.
He's just slid down a water slide and then found a huge pirate ship in a cave. The one-eyed pirate skeleton became a posthumous Goonie. Okay, the bad guys have shown up, but I'm just thinking, what a dope soundstage. We haven't seen Chunk and Sloth in a while. The teenage girl just walked a plank. Chunk and Pirate Sloth to the rescue! The kid punched the old lady in the face.
Wait, listen. Does him just not going back and describing this film, doesn't that make you want to watch it? Man, oh man.
Sloth is coming out of the closet. This whole part is like a Three Stooges thing. This whole Mama Sloth, dude, this stuff is off the rails. I don't know what is happening. Sloth threw his mother overboard. Goonies blew up on a way out from the styrofoam cave. Data's dad just said, "You're my best invention." The older girl just implied.
Yeah, seriously. Oh my God, I'm almost about to cry just thinking about it right now.
To the little kid, when your hoo-ha catches up to your kissing, things will be good. Damn. And Conehead.
Oh yeah.
Carrot Top are gonna live together. What is this movie? What's I'm gonna take care of the giant with the Conehead. Wow. They found the jewels! Yes, and the bad rich people are losing again, bad rich people. The cave opened up and the ghost ship is in the harbor. They all cheer as the ghost ship goes away with the billions and billions of dollars of gold and jewels. I'm telling you, it was crazy. It was bananas. I loved it. It was nuts. I get why people like this movie so much. It's so... And as soon as Sloth came in, I was like, what? Dude, what's happening? And The Gummy or Two is not a great place to see Sloth when it's like a little kid adventure movie. But here we are, man. It was dope. I dig it.
You and your husband make good video content. How dare you? Why is there a picture of a child? What are you? Oh boy, here we go. One of these cats.
Not many people know this, but Wile E. Coyote and the Roadrunner were originally created to be a cartoon diss track about how stupid and commercial Tom and Jerry were.
I was on board the second I heard this. I was just like, what? I've never heard of this crap before. Let's go.
Coyote and the Roadrunner are classic characters, but there's something just a little bit different about them compared to the other Looney Tunes, right? Unlike Daffy Duck or Bugs Bunny or Porky Pig, the Wile E. Coyote Roadrunner cartoons exclusively focus on a never-ending chase sequence where Wile E. Coyote is trying to catch the Roadrunner using various gadgets and gizmos that he orders through the mail.
Yeah, that's what you do.
And there's no story or dialogue at all. So why were these characters...
That's pretty close.
Characters and shorts so much different than the others in the Looney Tunes library? Well, the reason is because the Wile E. Coyote Roadrunner shorts were originally supposed to be a one-off parody or a diss track of sorts of Warner Brothers' rival animation studio, other than Disney, MGM, and their Tom and Jerry cartoons.
Who likes Tom and Jerry? Who likes Tom and Jerry here? I want to hear it in the chat. Let me know if you are a fan of Tom and Jerry. And while you're typing that thing, I'm going to go ahead and tell you, Tom and Jerry sucks. Tom and Jerry sucks. And if you like Tom and Jerry, perhaps you suck. Now, I'm not saying all Tom and Jerry sucks. I'm just saying it's the same bloody thing every single time, except for the one time where they'll have like the black mama in there. Outside of that, where Thomas, I love that lady. But outside of that, like it's always the same thing. And it's never entertaining. Never entertaining. It's always boring. Always boring. Get out of here.
Created by William Hanna and Joseph Barbera.
Let's use the same background over and over, Barrett.
The creators of the characters, animator Chuck Jones and writer Michael Maltese, hated the Tom and Jerry cartoons. They thought that they lacked substance and saw them as a soulless commercial cash grab meant to play on the audience's baser desires for violence and chaos.
Okay.
They didn't have unique storylines. They were just the same chase sequence over and over.
Yeah, it was basically, I don't like, I'm trying to do this, you get thwarted. I'm trying to get thwarted every time.
Again. They didn't have witty jokes or gags. And the characters of Tom and Jerry lacked personality. They were just a generic cat and mouse running around all the time. By contrast, they saw the Looney Tunes as the more highbrow thinking man's cartoon.
Well, they were. They were. When you watch those back, they're still really smart. They're smartly written. They're very well written. They take a lot of things from like vaudeville and all kinds of other stuff. It's great. What are you talking about?
Because remember, at the time, cartoons weren't for kids. They were just for everybody. They played them in the beginning of movies at theaters. And so
what a great time that would be. We need to go back and like, here's a little quick animated short, something that's cool, something that's funny, something that is of the Merry Melodies quality. You know what I'm saying? We need more of that. Show us one of those before a film. You remember, now listen, I don't know, I can't remember the last time I saw a Pixar film, but remember how all the Pixar films used to have little short films in front of them? Wasn't that a really fun time? Except for the fact when what was the movie? I forget what the movie was, but it was a Disney movie, but they had a a short film, a Frozen short film, just before the movie. And we would have so many people come out going like, they're playing Frozen in there. That's not what we came to watch. And I was like, no, this is a short film. When it's over, the movie's actually going to start. But like, this is like a short, it was like 5 or 6 minutes of a Frozen film. It may even been longer than that, but people would come out being going like, hey, what is this? I'm like, no, that's part of the program.
So in 1948, Jones and Maltese were messing around and they thought, wouldn't it be funny if we clown on those guys and show them and the world how stupid their cartoons are and how easy it is to produce mindless schlock? And we'll release it, and we'll show those guys that we can run circles around them, and audiences will realize how much better the Looney Tunes cartoons are by comparison. And so in 1949, they came out with the first Wile E. Coyote and Roadrunner short, Fast and Furious. But when the short...
Vin Diesel's going like, hold on, write that down. Good Vin Diesel impression.
Premiered, it had the exact opposite effect that they expected. It was massively successful and one of the most popular Looney Tunes shorts that had ever been made at the time.
Well, and I think one of the reasons that the Roadrunner things continue on and kind of span across the generations and everything like that, and of course languages. I think the fact that they are silent and you just kind of watch these things unfold, and it's the artistry of what's going on within the animation and everything that really kind of tells the story. And I think that crosses all kinds of international date lines, as it were, because people will just go like, oh, I can relate to this.
And so Jones, Maltese, and Warner Brothers sat back and thought, soulless commercial cash grab, you say? Maybe we want in on a little bit of that grabbing of cash.
Give me that cash.
And so they ended up making 48 more Wile E. Coyote cartoons throughout the years. And now,
okay, I was about to say, if he said throughout the year, I was going to be like, damn, but years, okay, fine.
Now Wile E. Coyote and the Roadrunner are just legendary icons. And even funnier, in the 1960s, Chuck Jones moved over to MGM and directed 34 Tom and Jerry shorts. So he had a real change of heart on that one. And
it's called What Are You Doing to Me? Okay, I'll take some of that.
Real quick, if you like my videos and you want to see more in-depth writing from me about animation, movies, TV, video games, so on and so forth, you can do that here.
I'm not a reader. Why do you think I have TikTok Trash Tuesday? Why do you think I have a podcast where all I do is talk? It's because reading is for suckers. What's next?
This is what happens when you play Star Wars in a cinema.
Get your ass beat? Is that what happens? Because that's what I'd be doing to somebody. They're like, let me bust out a trombone here in the middle of a movie theater. And then one of your jag-off buddies is filming it, so that's even, Yeah, everybody's like, motherfucker, I'm going to kill this kid. Gonna kill him. And as well they should. And besides, they're here to see Fast and the Furious. Right. Yeah, you knew it, you sons of bitches. Terrible. Listen, I would not find this fun. I would not find this funny. I would find this annoying. Well, oh my God. Fucking theater and band kids need to be stopped. Self-esteem movement was a mistake. We need to bring back shame. It's an element in society that's missing. Shame. And I also feel shame for the people that are like, ooh, I like it. Shut up. This is going to get copy struck. Okay, all right, listen, this isn't just somebody. All right, now, okay. When there's a keyboard set up front here and everything, and they're like, they knew this shit was going down. Why is this? All right, now it's not even a movie theater at this point. This is some other bullshit. All right, now we're just playing. All right, yeah, I'm muting this because I'm already getting struck for this shit. This is ridiculous. Just cringe. The best part is coming. Wait for it. I'm gonna turn on a lightsaber, huh? Oh boy. Comment important too. How about fuck you? That's my comment. Well, I hope you all enjoyed that because the live stream will be the only place where anyone sees that because that will be 100% copy struck, and I'll have to exercise that out of the program. But here's the thing. You're the better for having it gone, anyone who's watching this post live stream. So you're welcome.
What exactly is Art the Clown? Is he a man or is he something more? What separates him from ordinary psychopaths is how he specializes his murders, treating death as an art form.
Yeah, boy. So yeah, we were talking about the Terrifier earlier. And we got a little bit more Terrifier from our friend Longmire over here. And this guy breaks down things like nobody else's business. So let's see what we got.
Every artist at one time or another has experienced a psychological phenomenon known as the flow state, where it feels as if your artistry is coming through you and not from you. What's happening neurologically whenever this occurs is that your prefrontal cortex, which governs self-awareness and moral judgment, completely shuts down. Most artists describe it as temporary possession, but many people snap out of it and go, man, I don't know where that came from.
I say that after taco night.
There have been rare cases where people never do. This typically happens after traumatic or neurological damage where they remain in this constant flow state and their consciousness is seemingly gone forever.
I like to think that's a fun thought that, like, listen, art is killing people and he's just in a flow state, all right? Just let him go. Let him be.
No more morality, no restraint, just impulse pleasure and pure artistic expression. This expression reflects traits of malignant narcissism along with a god complex where taking one's life becomes the ultimate canvas. This is why he doesn't speak, because it's performative omnipotence. Words are not necessary because his art is the message. And if you're a
yeah, I'd agree with that.
demon that's looking for a vehicle to hitch a ride into the human world,
like this little like frightening creature did. Oh my god. So like when I saw Terrifier 2, like because that was what I saw first. Like I only saw like up to like the infamous scene in the first Terrifier because it was so low budget and it was not very good. But then that scene was like, oh Jesus. And it goes on forever, that scene. So when this little girl popped in, I'm just like, what's her deal? And like we still don't 100% know per se.
Art the Clown makes for the perfect conduit. In the first Terrifier, Art the Clown was human, but in the end dies, but is resurrected by a demonic entity. This entity appears in Terrifier 2 as a shapeshifter that can take on the forms of Art's past victims, such as the little girl Emily Crane, which is why Art is the only one who's able to see her. In order for this entity to live in our world,
I love the fact that Art starts that show in a laundromat, cleaning his clothes. Because, you know, you get blood on him. You got to clean that stuff up. And he's sitting there like reading the newspaper or whatever. That shit's kind of hilarious.
It needed someone like Art to anchor it there. That's why it kept bringing him back to life. However, the entity did find a human host, but at the end of Terrifier 3, that vessel was killed, leaving Art the Clown all alone, and here's where things get interesting. You're seeing all these hot debates online where people are now trying to figure out, wait, with her now gone, does that make Art now mortal again? Or is he remaining supernatural? Personally, I don't think we're going to have a solid answer on this until Terrifier 4, but please let me know your thoughts and theories on this in the comments down below. As always, very curious to hear your thoughts.
Listen, I'm a fan of the Terrifier movies. And people that just say, and for the first one, I would say that they were correct, that it's just, you know, gore for gore's sake and stuff like that. And it's just made people go, wow, that's really pushing the limits there and everything. And this, the other ones still do that. But starting with number 2, they are chock-a-block full of lore. So much lore in these movies. One might say too much lore, perhaps. What's that?
If it looks sinister, It sounds sexy. If it feels dangerous, odds are it's noir.
That's right, everybody. It's Noir November here and everything. Is anybody watching film noir movies this year month? I haven't. I've been too busy with other things. I always like the idea, but I never quite get around to doing it just because I'm lazy.
Film noir is crime with a twist. It may have been in black and white, but nothing in these films was simply black or white. Film noir also ushered in a whole new generation of incredibly sexy actors and actresses. And audiences loved seeing really, really beautiful, smart, sexy people doing really bad things on screen. Noir is also a collision of legitimate society and the underworld.
Boy, they really just kind of dropped the ball there, didn't they? And they were just, and the person who was stealing that material that this gentleman cooked up decided that was the stopping point.
The prices. Righteous Gemstones creator Danny McBride is in an interesting position in Hollywood because he's still a major player in the industry, but he lives full-time in Charleston, South Carolina. So this week, The Hollywood Reporter asked him what the studios are getting wrong about the movies from his perspective in Charleston. And
this should be interesting.
McBride said it isn't the movies, it's the movie theaters. Quote,
It's both. It's both. It's both. Don't, as I've said on this channel 9 gajillion times, it's both.
LA or New York, you still have these badass movie theaters that have state-of-the-art sound and screens. I'll buy a ticket to a theater around here, and it feels like you're in a halfway house. There'll be movies where I'll go in, see what screen it's on, and walk right out because I know that the speaker hums or there's a smell in there. McBride went on, in these suburban towns, they built all these
Oil Charleston is getting a real love letter there, ain't they?
big 16-screen megaplexes in the late 90s, and now those places feel like relics of a bygone era. There's 6 movies playing in there. It feels like you're in the fall of Rome. Even if what Hollywood is making is good, it's hard to convince people not to watch it in the comfort of their home and their massive TV set, when they might go to the theater and get 30 minutes of commercials and the projectionist forgets to turn the lights off.
It's 100% true. It's 100% true, man. And if you're somebody like me that's got like a $10,000 home theater, that is pound for pound better than any local movie theater that we've got here. It's like, what's the point, you know?
He is 100% right about this. Theaters are not always delivering a good experience. When I went
they're more often than not delivering a great experience. More often than not.
To see Sinners, the automatic curtains that adjust for different ratios were not set at the right size.
Oh, so you were in an AMC theater, were you? Got him.
So the image was being over projected beyond the screen.
Oh my God. Even worse. So not an AMC actually. So you were proud. I was thinking it was the other way around. If it's this way around, it's definitely not AMC because AMC is only doing 185 screens now, and then just if it's a 235 movie, they're just having the black bars on top and bottom. It's disgusting, and unless they're in their large theaters and stuff like that. But outside of that, they're just doing 185s on everything, and it's gross.
Someone in the audience
then just cut the feed.
I ask that if you worked with me, would you mind standing up right now?
Ladies and gentlemen, Tom Cruise is now an Oscar winner. That's right, ladies and gentlemen. Tom Cruise himself just got an honorary Oscar at the Governor's Awards. I think that's what they're called. The Governor's something or other. I'll call them the Governor's Awards. But he now is an Oscar winner, Tom Cruise. And I'm a little bit sad that he's gotten this kind of sort of lifetime achievement award here and everything. I think he's deserving of it, but I don't like that he's getting it now, specifically now. And I'll tell you why. Because I don't know if you know this, but next year's Academy Awards, if and all it goes as they said it would, next year's Academy Awards will have a first-time Oscar winner for Best Stunts. And you know who the winner of that's going to be? This guy, Mr. Tom Cruise. Wouldn't that be something if that was his first Oscar was for stunts? It's now his honorary Oscar, which is nice. I'm glad that he got an Oscar. In fact, I'm good, like I said previously, and I'll find the video at some point. But I made mention that Tom Cruise will have 2 Oscars this year. This is his first one. His second one will come with stunts. Because here's the thing. If there's anybody to kick off the stunt Oscar, it's going to be Tom Cruise. And in this speech that Tom Cruise will give on that stage about stuntmen and the stunt industry will drive stunts up like no one's business, dude. It will be bananas. Just put it on the paper. That's what's happening.
Do me a favor. Would you all stand up for a second, please? All of you.
Look at the amount of people. Look at all the names and all the faces that you I get emotional watching this because Tom Cruise fucking cares about movies, dude. You can just tell.
All of you. I want to see you. Thank you. Thank you. Thank you. Because I want you to know, and please know, that I carry you with me, each of you, and you are part of every frame of every film I have ever made or ever will make. And I want you to know that I will always do everything I can to help this art form, to support and champion new voices, to protect what makes cinema powerful, and hopefully without too many more broken bones. That would be nice. And I promise to do what I can, I don't know, to maybe inspire that next kid who might be working their ass off right now to buy that admission or figure out some other damn way to get in that theater. So thank you all very much for this honor.
Come on. Tom Cruise is amazing. And here's the thing, man. You want to know why we like Tom Cruise? Not only is because he gives everything to every movie that he's in. We love that. But you know what else we like about Tom Cruise? Once he stopped talking about Scientology, we always like, you know what? He might have had that little crazy thing, but we all, it's kind of cool. He's all right. He's all right. He's an all right guy. And you know what else he doesn't do? He don't talk any politics. I don't know what Tom Cruise's politics are. And we all like Tom Cruise, don't we? Yeah. You know what? And I feel like a lot more celebrities could do themselves a bit of a favor by not talking about their religion, by not talking about their politics, and just stick to fucking entertaining us. What a novel concept. Tom Cruise seems to have gotten it. There are other people that seem to have gotten it as well. Why the rest can't fall in line and just go, maybe we should try to entertain you instead of trying to change your philosophical views on life and everything. That's way better. I don't want to hear your stances on things because let's be honest, actors are dummies. Actors are dumb people. Otherwise, they'd be in a better profession where they would be, I don't want to say making more money, but they'd be having an impact that would not be them just saying words that someone else wrote for them. My dog just farted hardcore. It's wow.
I'm deeply grateful. Good night. Thank
you. Tom Cruise is great. Tom Cruise Crazy is a great song from Jonathan Colton. Jonathan Colton, that's a name I ain't heard in a long. That's a name I haven't heard in a long time. Did Jonathan Colton have anything Me Too? I don't want to sound like I'm talking out of school here or anything. I don't know, but like I said, you ain't heard from the man in forever and a day. So I just wonder. There was like a time there where he was just like kind of like the nerd mascot guy, just singing his little nerd songs and stuff like that. Only way I ever hear him now is just as the riff track song, which by the way is better when it's sped up. When it's played at its original slow pace, you want to just jump off a building. Tom Cruise is also dancing in one of these videos here. White boy dancing like you ain't never seen, boy. Play me off, Johnny.
Hey, man, do you know my favorite supporting performance? No, which one is that? Gotta be Bronson Pinchot in The Langoliers.
Gotta be Bronson Pinchot in The Langoliers. Agreed.
Really? I'm 100% serious. Isn't that like a goofy old TV movie? Yes, I know that clips of this performance have been shared all over the place as isolated meme screaming, but hey, Nicolas Cage does that shit all the time.
You got that right, boy.
I mean, he's a national treasure. But yes, The Langoliers is a televised Stephen King adaptation from the 1990s, which
we all know were good.
Which admittedly has not aged super well. It's a bit hokey. And in it, Pinchot plays Craig Toomey, a very sad, very intense businessman who has decided to burn his own life down just to feel something. But this character is also an untreated victim of trauma and abuse. And without going on about it, I feel he plays these emotions very honestly.
Were they Stephen King abuses, if you know what I'm saying? Wink, wink, not say no more.
Is he over the top? Yeah, but that's how those things feel. When you're processing all those sorts of memories and emotions, you're not just sitting around going, I see. You want to stand up and scream from the rooftops. I am mad at everything. And
Amen.
Bronson Pinchot in this movie, I think, sells that. You can make fun of him all you want, but I vastly prefer acting in that register as opposed to whatever Kevin Costner has been doing for the last 40 years.
Well, that's my Kevin Costner impression.
Make a different face.
Not wrong.
No comment. But yes, without Bronson Pinchot in this movie, our culture would not have this moment of, I didn't make any money for you. I didn't make any money for you. I lost money for you. I lost $43 million and I did it deliberately. Holy crap.
That's the kind of, that's not FU money. That's F me money.
Crap. And that's not a world I want to be in. Why are you talking about this? I don't know, it just popped in my head. Also,
I don't know.
True story, Bronson Pinchot very recently fell down some stairs and face planted onto concrete.
What?
Ah, damn. So I feel like he deserves a win. Plus, on his Instagram, he said when his sister checked him in, they pulled him aside and asked him, are you being abused? And he
that's
told
sad.
him, no, but when my sister comes back in, can you ask her a lot of questions like you think she's abusing me?
Yes.
So he seems like a fun guy. That's a good bit. Anyway.
Hell yeah. That's like, that reminds me of the time when I got my wisdom teeth taken out. And like they put me under the gas because I'd like none of the numbing stuff that was no good for me. I'm like, you got to knock me out, baby. So the dentist knocks me out, and he's like, all right, we're gonna count down or whatever it was. And then I wake up and I'm just like, my mom's there, and I go, they're about to start, and she goes, they're already finished. And I was like, oh, that must explain why there's this gauze in my mouth. And then I, like, even in my kind of half stupor, I was like, I'm going to try to embarrass my mom here in front of this nurse. And I said, did they try to touch me while I was under? And she was like, oh my God, no, why would you? And I just started laughing.
Hey, best wishes on your recovery, Mr. Pinchot.
I think I said, why not?
I hope that scar makes you look distinguished. Yeah, good luck, man.
Good old Bronson Pinchot. Get the fuck out!
Can you guess a horror movie from these clues?
All right, we're back with another horror trivia here. Let's see what we got.
Welcome back to What Is It Wednesday, the horror trivia game where you get
But it's Tuesday. We must have just gotten last Wednesdays, just like last time.
6 clues to guess the movie, with the first clue being as vague as possible, and the last clue pretty much gives it away. And as always, don't forget to pause the video after every clue for a chance to answer.
Don't worry, I got that on lock.
Let's get started. Here's your first clue. This horror movie has a 2.5 rating on Letterboxd, a 5.6 on IMDb, and only a 14% on Rotten Tomatoes.
Godfather Part 3. No, wait, you said horror film. That's kind of horrific to watch. All right, obviously that's a hella vague there. Hella vague. Let's see what we got.
Here's your second clue. This was the first Dark Castle Entertainment horror film to be based on an original concept. Here's clue number 3.
It's not The Invisible Man. It's not The Mummy. Dark Universe. It wasn't the Dracula Untold.
This horror movie was nominated as the worst film at the Chainsaw Awards, losing to Fear.com.
Oof. I remember seeing Fear.com, and that sucked. It's worse than Fear.com? Damn. I don't know, man.
Here's clue number 4. In 2016, the media website Coming Soon named the opening scene of this movie as one of the greatest in horror film history.
But it's rated so low. What could this possibly be? Chat, any clue, any idea? I'm at a loss.
Clue number 5. This film was allegedly conceived as The Shining on a cruise liner.
Ghost Ship. That's what it is. It's Ghost Ship. Now I remember. I guess, yeah. This movie's generally considered to be a piece of garbage, but everybody's like, the first opening scene, absolutely rad. Everything else from that is total garbage. Yeah. Ghost
Here's
Ship.
your 6th and final clue. This horror movie was released in 2002 and has the initials GS.
So I got it before the easy clue. Not too bad, Portraits. Not the greatest, but not too
This
bad.
movie definitely has one of, if not the best opening for a horror movie. The correct answer is Ghost Ship. Go to the comments and let me know what clue you guys got it on.
No, further along than I would, hoped, but here we are.
There's too much empathizing going on. What's different about Lou Bloom and Nightcrawler, which,
by the way, is coming out on 4K soon. Take my money, please. I think Nightcrawler was the best movie of that year. Jake Gyllenhaal gives a fantastic performance. Tony Gilroy has written and directed a fantastic film. And as somebody who has worked in television news and I wasn't a stringer, but I was an overnight videographer for news and everything. This has the feel of all of that and it felt so real to me. I love it so much.
relates to Scorsese, De Niro characters. We're in this era where if your character does bad things, we need to get behind them. They need to have a past that puts them up as they should, they should be doing this, or
I hate that where it's the Rob Zombie thing in Halloween where it's just instead of just being this, Michael Myers, the little crazy kid who, up and killed his sister one Halloween night and everything. Oh, well, it turns out he was abused as a child, and that's why he was a, real piece of garbage. Just why do that? Why
they've
do
been
that?
formed by something tragic or abusive in the past, and so it's I can get behind what they're doing. And whereas with Lou Bloom, you don't know anything about his past.
That's that's what makes that character scary.
And you don't want to empathize with him. That's what makes him so interesting. And Travis Bickle, we don't know much about his past. We know he went to the war, but that's kind of it.
Yeah.
If that kind of movie was made today, a Taxi Driver-esque movie.
Oh my God, we'd have flashbacks to Nam and all this other stuff, or him just talking about it. It would be bad. It'd be bad. Not only it's they feel like they would need to make him empathetic or something. It would make everything so clunky.
It would have a backstory of how he was something horrible happened to him, or he's fighting back against something.
He killed babies or something like that. He was in one of those platoons or something. Some bull crap like that. They would do.
There's this need to always make the morally great character defendable. I think it takes away from the mystery that those characters have, which makes them so resonant.
And in the character in Nightcrawler, he's a sociopath and a narcissist. That's his problem.
Everybody loves Nightcrawler, and that's become one of the cult movies of the last 20 years. And that movie is just going to be there's the following and the love for that movie. It's because of the character.
It's so great. I love Nightcrawler. If you haven't seen it, do yourself a favor. Bill Paxton performance.
California Raisins. I will say this about the California Raisins, and
let me tell you something. I got excited when I saw this,
and I don't want to talk about them anymore. But they have the best Christmas special on the market
of all time.
It is up there for me. Let me tell you something. The California Raisins Christmas special was a staple in my house. Big fan. big fan.
I love the California raisins. So
They were incredible.
any blasphemy from Durs, I will not stand for when it comes to the California raisins.
Thank you.
Because I was just a wee lad living in northeastern Iowa, Waterloo to be exact.
I've been there.
When I first started to see the California raisins, and
Mhm.
it made me go, man, I want to get out there, wear some sunglasses, play the saxophone.
But the problem is that we all weren't black.
Yeah.
Get so tan that my skin wrinkles up and shrivels.
Like a raisin.
Much like a raisin.
Perfect. Man, do you remember the stranglehold for a hot minute that the California raisins had on our society? It was bananas, or it was raisins, as it were. They were in Happy Meal toys. They had their own animated cartoons and stuff. And I don't know, man. The old raisin board in California was really cooking that month.
And to live in California.
Mission accomplished.
Mission accomplished.
You did it.
Yeah, and I did it.
Living your truth.
That's my dream.
The California raisins were really special. Like, that is so cool. And the fact that they were just selling raisins.
Yeah, what the fuck?
What the fuck?
Right? Again, it's like here's the California Raisins Commission, the people that grow the actual honest to God raisins in California, and they're just like, how do we sell raisins? I know, Motown.
So why do animated films cast celebrities for the voice roles rather than voice actors?
I would say the reason, well, number one is because for, recognizability and stuff like that. I remember the first time that I ever specifically really remember this happening and them not only having those famous actors do those voices, but making a big deal of them doing it was with, if I'm not mistaken, Titan AE, where if I'm not mistaken, it's been a long time. But Matt Damon was like a voice in that, right? And maybe someone else, a lady, I forget who. I don't think I ever actually saw the movie. But it was a deal at the time, and they were like making a thing of it. It was like, hey, Matt Damon's doing a voice in this movie, ergo, you are going to want to see this movie because Matt Damon is in it. And it became, because it is tough to sell an animated thing, especially something that no one knows about, or it's a new IP or something like that. You need some way to sell it. And I think a lot of times the quickest way you can do that is with a celebrity's name.
Because the obvious answer that most people would give doesn't seem correct to me, which is that it's the same reason every movie wants a star on the poster. They put butts in seats.
This is true.
But with animated films, it seems like that would only be true in very specific circumstances. Like if you had somebody who's just an absolute superstar among the youth. But 99% of the time, it's like what this person says. The concept of a child who recognizes Benny Safdie's voice as Bowser Jr.
Or anyone for that matter.
Now I realize this is not a new complaint. John Mulaney had a great sketch he did about the subject.
Who knows who did the voice of Benji the Cockatiel?
Mark Ruffalo!
That's right, Mark Ruffalo.
And it really does seem like these performances fall into two categories. Either there's so much alteration in post-production that you don't recognize the celebrity voice at all.
Like BB-8.
Like I didn't know Pedro Pascal was in The Wild Robot until I saw the credits.
Or listen, man, all you got to do these days is wait to the end and Pedro Pascal's going to be in the credits. We all know that.
Or the joke is, hey, this beaver talks like Matthew Berry, and it just takes you...
Hello, sir. All right, I got to get my Bat Berry. Father! I'm a beaver. I'm a beaver. Father!
Out of the movie. Like so much of the time, it seems like that is the point. Like it's just a meta joke. Look who...
I'm sorry, but I'm a little bit of a beaver this evening. There's going to be some wood here. I gotta work on my Matt Berry.
We got to voice this role.
I don't have that.
But for an industry that is obsessed with the bottom line, they can't think that a single child was out there saying, "Mom, take me to go see The Wild Robot. It's got Pedro Pascal in it."
I bet Pedro thinks that.
And if Mom is an obsessive Pedro Pascal fan, she's not going to get her fix from this. He's almost unrecognizable. The reason they do it, as far as I understand it, is purely for this. The red carpet, the promotional campaign. You don't
Yeah, you're not going to get Maurice LaMarche out there on a red carpet. Not going to happen.
Ask Chris Pratt because you think he's the best Mario, or because you think anybody is buying a ticket to hear Chris Pratt. You do it.
I mean, there was enough of a brouhaha about it, so maybe a little bit.
Because Chris Pratt is great on talk shows. Some of you watching this video, the only thing you know of the original Mario Brothers movie is that Jack Black song that went viral on here. In other words, it's very similar to the musicians who complain that they can't just make the music, they've also got to be good at Instagram. And all of the authors saying, why can't
Oh, no, you got to hire somebody to do your Instagram for you. Must be rough.
I just write books? Why do I also have to get good at TikTok? It's like...
Yeah, but you did it. You did it. You good at writing books and you good at TikTok, man. So, screw the haters, dog.
You can't just be a good voice actor. You also have to have the face of a celebrity. And I will confess that bothers me because somewhere out there is a fantastic voice actor who just doesn't happen to look like Anya Taylor-Joy. And there was a time where if you were a voice actor,
the sexiest voice actor in all of history right there,
who could just work magic on the microphone, that was enough. And as social media takes over absolutely everything, we keep moving toward a society where everyone has to look the part.
It's a sad state of affairs, but look around and there you are, as it were.
Weren't you up for R2-D2?
Yes, I did, because Kenny Baker used to get so drunk.
So this is Deep Roy, everybody. If you're unaware, Deep Roy is a little person who is who's been quite famous across Hollywood for many years. I think most people would know him most recently as the Oompa Loompa in the Tim Burton Charlie and the Chocolate Factory movie. But yeah, if you get Deep Roy drunk enough, and it's funny that him talking about Kenny being a drunk, which again, very much a true story. If you hear around the old Star Wars campfire here and everything, Kenny Baker liked to tag to get a little soused, tie one on, as it were. And but you know who else does that? Deep Roy over here. I think it's in Jamie Kennedy's movie, where he talks about what's the name of that movie? It'll take me a minute to remember. But there's a documentary that Jamie Kennedy did, and I think at one point in the documentary, he's interviewing Deep Roy in a hot tub, and Deep Roy's drunk off of his ass. Just talking absolute shit about Kenny Baker.
Then they used to put him into R2-D2. It wasn't made for me. Kenny was like 3'7". I'm 4'4", man.
How drunk did he get?
I don't know.
Drunk enough that the tales were drunk enough that he would fall asleep inside of the costume. People would forget that he's in there and leave him in there. Yeah, they go to lunch and Kenny be inside the R2-D2.
5-6 beers.
In 5-6 beers when you're 3 feet tall, I mean that's half your body weight in beer right there, man.
He doesn't know. They used to send him home.
And so then they put you in.
Yeah, exactly.
What scenes were you in?
See, I don't know how much of this I believe coming from him.
I can't even remember what happened.
That means none.
Happened yesterday. You asking me.
I know, but I would remember at least one scene of R2-D2. I would remember. You can't remember.
And here's the thing: Kenny's not here to refute you. Come on.
I did so many scenes, I mean, I can't.
No, you didn't. I don't believe him. I believe that Kenny Baker was a drunk. I believe that he fell, asleep many times in the thing. I don't know that he replaced him.
I don't remember a particular scene.
Was it safe to say that in Empire Strikes Back,
yes,
you might be in half of the R2-D2 scenes?
Exactly.
But he can't tell you which ones. Seems suspicious, no?
I've been posting movie content in my film reviews for quite some time now.
We've seen this girl before on TikTok Trash Tuesday. Listen, I don't know. Many of the girlfriends that I've had have been mean to me, and I feel like she would be mean. So, what's this say about me?
And it has become increasingly clear to me that we as a society have just somehow forgotten that film is an art form. Not everything you watch is supposed to make you feel comfortable. Art is meant to challenge your beliefs, to make you feel things.
Sometimes it can be a function of art, but that does not necessarily, I don't agree with the idea that needs to be in art in order for that to be art. I don't agree with that.
The beautiful thing about art is it can make you feel understood, it can make you feel angry, it can make you feel inspired, every single feeling in between. Movies are no different. Just because a movie makes you feel uncomfortable, or a character in the film has a belief that you don't share, or even if there's a storyline that's extremely disturbing, doesn't mean it's a bad movie.
You'd be shocked at the number of people who do not believe that's true.
It means that it's a film that is designed in a way to make you feel something, to make you learn something,
I'm not having a fun time with Enter the Void. What gives?
to make you question something. It's art. You're not supposed to love every single movie that you see, but just because you don't love a movie doesn't make it a bad movie.
Just because I didn't love Paul Blart Mall Cop 2 doesn't mean that Paul Blart Mall Cop 2 isn't a bad movie. She makes an excellent point.
I'm just really surprised with how many times I see people in the comments of my videos saying that they left the theater of a movie.
I can't do that. The only time that I've left movies have been to either audience problems or, more often than not, technical problems. I'm not gonna, if the center channel of a movie theater has a woofer that's broken and it just sounds like it's in a telephone, or vice versa, its tweeter is broken and all the woofers are, I can't listen to that. I get, like, that's a movie I cannot sit through. So those I'll leave on, but just leaving at a, like, I think this movie sucks. Nah, ain't doing that. You're stick it out to the end.
And if you didn't stay to see the end of the movie, you didn't see the movie.
Correct. What if it, and I talked about this, I want to say it was last week, Martyrs. I didn't like that movie up until the end. It's like literally the last scene made me go like, oh, that's what's going on. It's different. I liked it well enough, so.
Which is fine. That's your prerogative. If you want to leave, go ahead and leave. But then don't go online and say the movie was bad.
Correct.
I don't know. Those are my thoughts. Do you agree? Let me know.
Absolutely correct.
So I finally gave into the Criterion temptation, and guess what you think this is down in the comments.
It's a movie. Your boy smart. Okay, Criterion Collection. It's not a Schnapp case. It's not thick enough to be like Breathless, or I don't even think it's thick enough to be Thelma and Louise, which would be an easy pickup for a first-time Criterion guy. Not Wally, right? What did he do?
What I'll say before I get into any of that is that I actually had no idea what Criterion was up until a few weeks ago.
Oh, wow.
And I'd heard of them. I knew they had a closet. I knew.
By the way, I haven't gotten any Criterion films this month. I'm still like, after moving, the finances are still kind of low, and the job is just kind of starting to kick in. I think I'm going to get one film during this Criterion. Well, I say one film. That's not true. One purchase during this Criterion sale here and everything. And it's just because, and now their stuff doesn't normally sell out like it does with a whole bunch of other things. They usually make enough with this within Criterion, stuff like that, and they don't quite sell quite like that. But I have a feeling that some way, shape, or form, if I don't get it early, it's going to go away, and I'm going to be really peeved with myself. And that's the Wes Anderson box set, the 4K box set that just came out. That I want, and especially for 50% off is what I want, you know?
It was full of movies. That was about it. After learning about them, I've kind of wanted to support them as I'm getting into more of the physical media side of things. I really wanted to support it. So
this is nice. Oh, ooh.
Of course, the first one makes sense. I went out and I got Parasite.
That's good. That's a good one for somebody who's kind of just getting into stuff. You need to get something that's it's a little bit arty, but it's mainstream enough and everything that people have seen it and whatnot. Good choice for your first Criterion, my friend. Good job.
which is my all-time favorite movie.
And if it's your all-time favorite movie, even better.
Period. Full stop. I mean, I don't even know what to say about this movie. It's just an utterly incredible film. Again, like I said, my favorite of all time, and I don't think that's going to change anytime soon. Maybe it will, but absolutely love this one, so it made sense to pick up for me. Comes in as
I love Parasite. I think Parasite was a really great movie. I think it was a little overpraised, if I'm honest. Very good film. Enjoy it. I think if I looked at my letterbox, it would probably be a 4 or 5 stars. I forget. But y'all loved on that movie just a little bit too much, where it's just like, all right, you're making me start to dislike this film as much as you guys are liking it. When you start spreading it on a little bit too thick, that's when I get a little bit suspicious.
It's an awesome slipcover that kind of shows off some details behind the poster, all that stuff. Love that. It's really cool. It's really interesting design. I've not actually seen a case like this before. Like it's a slipcover, but it's not really a slipcover. And of course, once you bust it out of that, it does have the poster, I guess I'll call it. That's what it was for the whole movie. Both sides, double-sided, very cool. It's a really sleek look. It's a very interesting one. I don't love that. Oh, you can even see the little pamphlet that's in the inside.
Yeah.
The extra information that it comes with is popping out because it's not really super secure. There's no snap on this one.
Popping out like your sister's titties at Mardi Gras.
Of course, on the inside, you got both the discs. You have a little picture of the house over here. And of course, here it is just without the discs. See the full image on there. Love it. I have nothing
way better than your regular old Schnapp case, right?
praise for this movie. Like I said, Parasite's my favorite movie of all time as of right now. Love it. So super happy to have this in the very early, very budding collection. And my first Criterion, which again, like I said, favorite movie of all time. Makes sense to have that as the first Criterion movie. And I'm assuming more of my money will go to this very, very soon.
Welcome to the club, Pally. If you're gonna get into this thing, and it's gonna be a real shame for you because you're just gonna keep spending that money, and then twice a year, you might as well go ahead and start putting some money aside now for it. That mustache you got, oh my God.
I think I'm just too black to enjoy Rocky movies. I went back and watched the first 4 Rockies before. Damn.
What does that even mean? I think this guy's about to give him a little bit of a takedown, but okie dokie. Here we go.
Boy, a lot don't care who tell it, don't it? First of all, if you're going to try to say something that's racist, you're going to have to be a little more accurate with it, bro. Because did you forget that not only did Apollo Creed beat Rocky the first time they fought, Mr. T also beat Rocky. 2
Correct.
black fighters, by the way. Mind you, they made Apollo beat Rocky during a time where black artists wasn't even being featured on MTV. So
yeah,
if there's anything that was anti-black around the time, it definitely wasn't fucking Rocky.
Yeah, not at all. Not at all. Apollo Creed, and that's the thing. Rocky was such an underdog that they didn't even think this was going to go anywhere. They were just like, this is literally just an execution. And they call it exhibition. I call it an execution match, where it was just like, let's just get this bum in here to get the champ to just knock him around a little bit. It'll be fun for everybody. We'll just watch the champ just beat up on a mook. And we'll be like, oh, look at us. We're giving him a real good shot. Wrong.
And did you know that there was also talks of them doing a Drago spinoff series following him and eventually his son? But instead, they decided to go with...
Oh, boy. Yeah, it wouldn't have been good.
Creed instead, the black character, not as
yeah, good point.
The whole spinoff series strictly focusing on Apollo Creed's legacy, not Rocky's.
Mm-hmm.
If you're gonna do this whole movie review thing, brother, you're gonna have to actually watch the movies and interpret them the correct way. Because what we're not gonna do on this here platform is call something racist or anti-black for shock value.
Yeah. Because that literally was what that dude was doing, man. It's just like, yeah, you're not even paying attention, man.
Want to gain a loyal fan base and following by dropping accurate facts. But calling Rocky racist when he literally got the shit beat out of him by 2 black dudes? Yeah, bro. I don't know about that, G.
That's ridiculous. And here's the thing. You know what they never did in those movies? Brought up anybody's race. Not a once. Not a one. I say not a once, but I'm pretty sure not a once. It was because it wasn't about that. It was about people's skills and stuff like that. It wasn't about a black dude.
In no particular order, these are the top 10 best sweaters in movie history.
Oh, first of all, off with a fucking banger. Yes.
Kicking things off with Neil from the Santa Claus franchise. I unironically think these are great. These are kind of hard to come by on the vintage market. They're usually pretty spendy. And I actually think that they are more wearable than you'd think. Next up,
that's a Cosby sweater.
I have Freddy Krueger from the Nightmare on Elm Street. The fedora was a choice, but I think we can all appreciate some subtle distressing on a sweater.
Subtle.
You can't really wear this without people telling you that it's giving Freddy Krueger, but I still think it's one of the best sweaters in film. Next up, I have these homemade wool
H stands for Harry.
Sweaters from the Harry Potter franchise. I just think they're very sweet and wholesome. Like, if anybody wanted to make me a wool sweater with a big X on it, I would definitely wear it. Next, I have Andrew Lincoln's sweater from the movie Love Actually. I just really like the color block.
We all forget he's British, don't we?
On this, and despite the current popularity of clothing from the early 2000s,
Oof. I don't know about all that.
I'm surprised that I'm
It does look like something I would have worn in the 90s.
not seeing more stuff like this. I think it still goes.
Maybe not with the neck thing.
It's pretty hard. Next, I have Marilyn Monroe from the movie Let's Make Love, which was actually like a purple, pinkish color. Part sweater, part dress, iconic. Up next, I have these two dudes from Fargo. Both sweaters
yes,
are absolutely bonkers. They're wearing this in like one scene in the whole movie, and I still think about it sometimes. Okay, we're in the top 4. This is like
we knew old Billy Crystal, and when Harry Met Sally was coming, we knew it was coming. Come on, you could see it from a mile and a half away. When he even mentioned the topic, you should have known Billy Crystal going to be on that Mount Rushmore era.
The creme de la creme. We've got Billy Crystal in When Harry Met Sally. This has been on every mood board for the last 5 years. Perfect. It's cozy. He wore it with sweatpants to read at home. He wore it with jeans to go out. What more can I say that hasn't been said? It's perfect. Chris Evans' distressed fisherman sweater from Knives Out is so good.
Yeah, that's a good one.
Never get tired of seeing it. Despite being one of the more recent movies on this list, this is on every list of the best sweaters in movies. It's terrific. You knew it was going to be here. Jeff Bridges in The Big Lebowski.
I don't know about calling that a sweater. I think that's a robe, my friend. That's a robe.
Made the Pendleton Westerly sweater a household name. This sweater is now synonymous with this movie.
Is it not a robe? Am I bananas, or is that another thing on top? Is that a hat on a hat, as it were, or a coat on a dressing gown?
Ultimate chill guy attire, the best. And number 1 is obviously Danny's.
Yes. The number 1 sweater is that's great.
Apollo 11 sweater from The Shining. I love everything.
Because it's also a clue to let you know that Stanley Kubrick directed the moon landing.
About it. The cropped fit, how puffy and like bulky
it's a puffy shirt.
It is. If somebody did a good repro of this sweater, that thing would do numbers.
I don't know how much I agree with that, but you know.
I kind of wish they would just let the Toy Story series die.
Yes. The end of Toy Story 3 was amazing. It was the closing final chapter on a story that was like the life cycle of going from child to adult and then passing on the love of your, the loves of your childhood to another child, and then kind of blessing that child's future with some of the love and enjoyment that you got throughout those years. What an amazing, amazing close to that movie. And then they're like, let's do another one. Now, I'm not going to lie to you. Toy Story 4 was good. It was a good movie. Was it necessary? No, not at all. Would it be better if it didn't exist? Probably. But I don't know why it would need to exist. And again, if you wanted to get to the end of that and be like, okay, now that's it. Now we're talking about, kind of the post era here and everything. Maybe that's a good way to, and then we're like, let's go to the well one more time. Pixar is out of story ideas, everybody.
They just released a trailer for Toy Story 5 coming out next summer.
It.
Now, I realize this is an unpopular opinion. Toy Story 4 made a huge amount of money. Everybody loved it.
Yeah.
I realize these films are not for me. I'm incredibly old. I also realize that with this premise, there's no reason.
Guys, the first Toy Story came out in 1995, was it? Long ass time ago, bro. 97. All right, hold on. Now I gotta look. 95. Yeah, that's right. I was fairly certain that was correct. 95, everybody. It was Pulp Fiction, and then next year came out. Come on now.
You couldn't just have toys going on adventures forever. You could make a TV show out of it. From the start, can we agree that everything about this series is incredibly old? The first film came out in 1995, 30 years ago. And it was about an old toy. I mean, that was the point. Woody is an antique. Yeah. He's based on a TV show from the 1950s or 60s. In fact, the central conflict is about the transition from the era of toys that were all about the Old West to stuff that was more about the future.
There's a snake in my boot.
Plastic sci-fi toys from the 80s and 90s that were more high-tech, you know, Buzz lights up and he has pre-recorded voice lines, stuff like that.
There doesn't seem to be a sign of intelligent life anywhere.
In other words, the film in 1995 was aimed squarely at people who had grown up in the 80s. If you were 10 years old at the time, you saw this transition happen in toys. And then for the grown-ups in the audience, there were all of these themes about the fear of being
and if you were certainly a kid in the 50s and 60s and stuff like that, you certainly went through that. My dad literally went through the, you know, cowboy phase and then into the sci-fi Star Trek era and stuff like that. So, like, yeah, it happened.
Replaced, of your time passing you by and getting replaced by something shiny and new. But that's the first part of my problem with the series continuing, which is that it was never just a series of adventures for these toys. There was always a very specific story they were telling, stories about transition, about children growing up and moving on, and about the toys themselves having...
Which is the most ironic part for all of Toy Story, is that they have yet to move on.
To move on. And in fact, as the series continued, it really did feel like they were writing it more and more for the adults in the audience.
Oh, yeah.
The funniest character in Toy Story 4 was based on this toy.
The Evel Knievel toy, yeah.
From 1973. This is Evel Knievel. Do any of you kids out there know who Evel Knievel is? And then there's the fact that Toy Story 3 was very clearly intended to be the end of the series.
Oh, you give away the toy, the Andy story's finished, and you're done.
It brought everything to a close. It's almost like the writers were saying to the studio,
we're done. We don't want to do this anymore.
Move on. The kids who saw the first film now have grandchildren.
Yep.
But that's the irony here, because this franchise is a sign of our culture's inability to do the thing they're talking about in these films.
Yep.
Our inability to move on. Give the kids of today their own thing. Mr. Potato Head was an old toy when I was a child, and I am 1,000 years old. The main voice cast...
Ages 5 and up. It says it on my box.
Are in their 70s now. At least 2 of them are dead. Why are we still making kids watch stories about the stuff their grandparents were into?
'Cause fuck them kids.
I did a commercial for American Express where I'm complaining about what I shot and a kid.
This was one of my favorite commercials growing up. Seeing Martin Scorsese in this Kodak ad. We're going to play a minute of it. It's so good.
His birthday party. That's what I do. My AD saw me last week. He said, I love the commercial. He said, it's like being back at the monitor. What have I done? I've lost the narrative thread.
Doesn't make any sense. Look at it. There's no life to it at all. Oh, my nephew. Say cheese. Good direction, Marty.
Say cheese. Good direction, Marty. That's a good direction. This was so much fun to see back in the day, dude.
Here, this one, interesting. It's far too nostalgic.
It's far too.
What do you think?
It's pretty.
Crap.
Composition is forced. Lighting is bad. Angle is off.
Too literal. Too violent. Too metaphorical.
Too violent. Birthday party. Too violent.
Too dark.
Here, we have the protagonist, but where's the antagonist?
Think about it.
Huh? Where's the drama? Oh. Unavoidable. Gotta reshoot.
Unavoidable.
Yeah, Timmy. That's your Uncle Marty. How'd you like to turn 5 again?
Come on! That's great!
I mean, it was very easy to do because basically you gotta... Yeah, otherwise, you know, it's just... There, oh God, you take myself too... the word is seriously, I guess. But you know what? The damn thing is, you got to be serious about making a picture.
You got that right, everybody. And we've been seriously happy to have you guys all around for yet another TikTok Trash Tuesday. Thanks for hanging out, man. We're having a good time over here, and we really appreciate all of you fine folks for kicking through this entire time. We really appreciate that. If you can, do me a big old giant favor, hit that like and subscribe button as well as that bell notification so you know when live shows like this or when new videos drop down that we're doing. We really love to hear from you guys and everything. And again, big giant thank you to all my Patreon supporters at patreon.com/HMP. Pre-show, post-show, Dinger Zone. Love all of you guys. Thank you again so much for kicking around and sticking with me on this here TikTok Trash Tuesday. Join me next Tuesday where we go back and do this exact same thing again. Hopefully more funny than the last time. You never really know. That is it, everybody. Do me a big old giant favor. Like I said, hit that like and subscribe button. And if I can hit the right buttons here and we can hit all the things, then we'll see you next time. Hit the button, damn it. Good grief. We'll see you guys next time.